Anything we do with passion, obsession, or desire teaches us not only about the medium we're using, but about ourselves. Today we're looking at a photographer who is inspiring, hardworking, and who has more achievements than most photographers would ever dream of accomplishing. This is Street Smarts Volume 3, Joel Meyerowitz. Meyerowitz began his work as a street photographer after being inspired by another street photographer who has been the first point of inspiration into taking the genre seriously for so many of us. That photographer was Robert Frank. While watching Frank shoot photos one day in 1962, Meyerowitz became so inspired that he immediately quit his job, grabbed a camera, and took to the streets to plunge headfirst into taking a shot at the genre himself. A genre that he himself would become enormously influential in, possibly becoming as big a source of inspiration, if not more so, than legends like Bresson and Frank. Particularly because he has published over 40 books that aim to share his photography while also giving insight into the world of street shooting that can help the rest of us on our way to gaining knowledge about how to produce better work ourselves and understand more about the lives and work of those who paved the way to make the streets of photography what they are today. Examples of this include Bystander, better known by some as the Bible of street photography, which highlights different eras and photographers, and How I Make Photographs, which gives us useful tips and insights into how he perceives the world of street photography and the best practices that go into making work in this art form. Throughout his 60-plus years of producing photos, his work has appeared in 350 exhibitions in museums and galleries around the world. He has shot a myriad of different photography subgenres and continues to teach about a wide range of photography topics and produce photos mainly focused on still life to this day, now in his 80s. Meyerowitz originally became a pioneer of color photography out of ignorance, not insight. Having previously been exposed to art through the study of painting in college, followed by working as an art director, it seemed like common sense to Meyerowitz that photographers would want to capture the world the same way that we see it, in color. However, in the 1960s, high art photographers looked down on color film as something that was only meant to be used for advertisements, weddings, and family photos. Meyerowitz had nothing but high praise for color photography and what he felt it brought to the street. So he naturally wanted to shed new light and positivity onto the medium. To do this, he went about conducting a number of experiments with two loaded LEICAs. One would have color Kodachrome film, the other black and white Tri-X film. Using these two cameras, he would go about shooting slowly developing street scenes with both film types to give side-by-side comparisons of what they looked like in black and white and what they looked like in color. The results of this were color photos that he believed presented evidence that the medium was capable of telling deeper stories about scenes, because of the information viewers were able to draw from them that they were unable to draw from black and white film. Meyerowitz has been able to capture the energy of the streets by owning them, embracing the everyday scenes that are always part of them, and anticipating the moments that will undoubtedly unfold upon them. In response to the fear, shyness, and anxiety faced by many who want to get started in this genre, Meyerowitz advises photographers to own the streets, because he believes that in public spaces, everyone and everything is fair game to be photographed. By embracing the chaos of the streets, reacting to those who notice what you're doing with a smile and positive energy, knowing that no subject is off limits or taboo, regardless of what other photographers might tell you, and having the mentality to take honest work that honestly reflects what you're experiencing on the streets, the true energy of what the streets are, can be captured. Those honest moments are found in everyday scenes when you immerse yourself in the streets, follow what calls to you, and have faith that good things come to those who wait. When you follow those instincts, you end up being led by the camera to what you'll consider a quality photo. Because according to Meyerowitz, the camera is a gift that is telling you to go somewhere. The camera wants to be taken on an adventure. And the more of those adventures you go on, the more you'll be able to anticipate the moment. Meyerowitz points to the legends of photography and how it seems almost unbelievable that they were able to capture the moments that they did. But he also believes that everyone has this capacity for understanding, for anticipating, and that you too will be able to make the kind of photographs you think you would only see in magazines. Sometimes chance provides you with an opportunity to do something bigger than yourself, something outside the scale and scope of your ambitions. It's those moments that drive you toward becoming the artist you can be. And that's the secret of any art form. If you reach beyond what you think are your limits, you'll extend and expand yourself. You'll become the next version of yourself. This is the mindset Joel Meyerowitz took into photographing the aftermath of 9/11. A wild time to be in America, New York, or especially Ground Zero, as anyone living then will easily attest. Meyerowitz had the odd fortune of being the only photographer allowed on the location to document what it looked like in the days, weeks, and months in the aftermath of the tragedy. Since the site had been declared off-limits to photographers, he found a way in through connections he had in the city, which enabled him to capture something truly unique that at the same time was something everyone was connected to in some way, shape, or form to greater or lesser degrees. Many less intense projects have also been part of the career of Joel Meyerowitz. He's a photographer who practices what he preaches when it comes to creating work that calls to him. Examples of this are his project called Redheads that was released in 1990 that celebrated people of any age and gender with red hair. His current focus on still life photos made using found objects speaks volumes to the flexibility in subject matter that he finds appealing as it changed throughout his career. There seems to be endless amounts of work for any genre of photographer to be inspired by that was created by Joel Meyerowitz. So until next time, take that work, get inspired, read bystanders, and keep developing.